This is an owner's manual for a Pioneer turntable, and this sold for $45. I have my store on 10% discount this week, and I'm starting to not include the manuals with the equipment when I receive them that way, because I don't think they add any value to the item I'm selling, and then the manuals themselves bring pretty good money. This is the second pair of the Red Wing boots, where I bought both pair for $2 a piece. These are just basic black Red Wing work boots, and they sold for $90. This is another one of those Oster Stimulax vibrating devices that you wear in your hands. I have sold a few of these, and I include a video of Don Draper getting a massage with one of these at a barber on Mad Men. I don't know if that helps, but it's kind of fun. And this sold for $40. This is a military M65 field jacket in desert camo. It's from 2001, as you can tell by the stock number, men's large. And it's going to Spain. The buyer contacted me and wanted to know if I could do something about the high price. Shipping was like $53. So I lowered it down to $47 for him. And it's going priority international to one of Spain's Canary Islands. This is a pair of Akai recording microphones. I found these at an estate in the basement, just in a box of other electronic junk. And estate sale people didn't know anything about it. They just charged $5 for the whole box. And I sold the pair for $54. This is a 1/24th scale slot car. It's one of the bigger ones. And this is a Cheetah. Apparently these are quite popular. It's from the 60s. I bought a whole race set and it had extra cars in it. This being one of them. It's missing the rear tires, some chrome pieces, and the windshield. But it's popular enough still to gather $60. Another lot of 10 used cassette tapes. These are the Maxell UDC-90 90-minute cassettes. And the one thing going for me on these is that they are in perfect condition. There's no writing on them. There is some British programming, jazz programs and whatnot on them. But the J cards are in perfect condition, and plastic cases aren't cracked or anything. And I took a best offer on these. I have them listed at about $60, and I took a best offer of $45. This is a Pioneer receiver. It's just the receiver part of a system, and I got this along with some other pieces of equipment a few weeks ago at a garage sale. And this is kind of just a throw-in. I paid $50 for a power amp, preamp, and then he threw this in as well. And this sold for $45, and it's going via the global shipping program to Santiago Metropolitan, Chile. This is a pretty common item at the auction I go to. It just came along in a box lot that I got for $2, so really no money in it. Interesting enough, it's a Century. I don't know much about these, but when I looked up aluminum coffee pots, percolating coffee pots on eBay, most of them were Comet brands. And I do have a Comet brand as well, and that's a 12 cup. This is a 9 cup Century. And this got quite a few views and then sold within a week for $18. While the Comet has hardly got any views. So I guess the Century must be a little bit more rare. So if you're looking at aluminum percolating coffee pots, look for the Century brand. John Deere hats never fail to sell. They're a dime a dozen out here in the Farm Belt, even when they are sort of specific to a certain company. This is a corduroy golf style hat with the embroidery. Pretty good shape. I'm sure I didn't pay over 50 cents for it. And it sold for $18. This is an Optimus 10-band stereo equalizer. They used to sell these at Radio Shack. I printed off a manual. And I bought this at a garage sale along with 3 or 4 other pieces of equipment and so I probably have about $3 into this. It sold during my sale this week for $36. I used my typical video presentation in the listing, where I group a number of items together, like items together, and then list them separately using the same video. And it took about 3 weeks to sell. This is a plastic slot car body, 1/32 scale, 1969 Corvette Stingray. Just the body, and this sold for $30. This came along with a big set I found at a estate sale. I paid $6 for it, and had about half a dozen cars that I've been putting up for sale. This is a flexible gas line, brass gas line, with some fittings on it. It came along with a box lot of a whole bunch of plumbing supplies and fittings, connections, and I put quite a few of them up for sale, and that was over a year ago, and this is the first thing to sell. And it sold for $18. Another super shooter sold. This one was just $3 at a garage sale, and it was complete. If you can find them with the instructions, I think people are really after those, because those seem to sell faster when they have the instructions with them. And this one sold for $36. This is a vintage set of Dura Tone playing cards with a yellow rose on them. I bought these so long ago. I think it was right after Jay and Ryan sold a set for about $400, $500, $600, and so I started looking for cards. I still don't know what to find in them. Just pick them up when they look old and throw them against the wall, see what sticks. These did not stick. Finally got a $7 offer, and I took it. They were probably just a quarter at the garage sale, though. This is a wool blanket in what I think is the Black Watch tartan plaid pattern, made by Amana Woolen Mills. It's in good shape. I should have probably held out, but times are tough, so I took an offer of $35. I had it originally listed at $50, but it was just a few dollars at a garage sale. This is a vintage Sony stereo tuner. It's just a tuner. It needs to be hooked up to an amplifier. I found this on a Craigslist ad. It was for something else. I don't even remember what it was. I think maybe a piece of furniture, but while I was there, I spotted this in the garage, all covered in dust, a couple other small little components, and I got them all for $10. And the other components turned out very nice too after some cleanup, as did this. And this ended up selling for $50. This Firefighter's helmet came in an auction box lot, and I wasn't seeking this out, but I thought, well, maybe it'll bring some money after I clean it up. Did the best I could, and after doing some research, I was a little disappointed. They don't really go for that much, and so I put it up before Halloween, thinking maybe somebody would use it as a costume, but it just sold today for $30. This is a volume knob off a Marantz stereo that I dismantled and selling the pieces. And this sold for $10. Much easier to ship than the Marantz amplifier itself, that's for sure. Well, after selling a $10 volume knob, I sold a whole Marantz amplifier. This one did receive some parts from the donor Marantz that I have disassembled and selling some of the parts. This one had a few lights out on it, and those got replaced, and it sold for $530. This was a $40 pickup at a garage sale. I found this holiday vest with the snowmen on it last year at a garage sale for about a quarter, and it took a whole year to sell. Had to cycle around for the next season, I guess. Sold for $10. This is a vintage Fuji power adapter for vintage 60s tape recorders and radios. Came along with a bunch of other stereo equipment I bought last year, and finally sold it for $50. Original price $15.95. Something I've been wanting to sell more of is tools, so I've been searching them out. I found this Miller's Falls Langdon miter box saw with a matching Diston back saw, at a sort of an antique, outdoor antique mall, flea market kind of thing. They wanted $7, I offered $5 and I got it. And it sold for $130. It's kind of dirty and I didn't do much cleanup on it, just described it as best I could and did the research, saw that the popularity was there to sell it for a higher price. This is another record rack, and I think I've sold about 4 or 5 of these over the last few months, and they've all gone to England. There must be a shortage of album storage racks over in England. This sold for $25. It was just $1 at a garage sale.